Okay, so everybody's seated in their chairs. And so when you come into your chair, we're going to take our feet down so we can feel the feet flat to the floor. And you can even though you can't see my toes or my feet here on this video, you can lift up and spread through your toes, just kind of get a little stretch, and then slowly lower your toes all the way back down. And then once the toes are lowered back down, just go ahead and see if you can push your feet down into your floor and just kind of get a sense of some grounding down of your feet. You'll notice how you'll feel the legs kind of activate there, feel the muscles hug the bones. We're going to do a seated mountain pose. So now you'll find the sit bones, those two bones in your bone. You're going to root those down into the mat. And then from there, as you inhale, it feels as though you're growing tall right from your hips to your shoulders, your armpits, reaching out through the top of the head. Continue to press your feet down. If you like, you can close your eyes and just settle into your breathing here. So feeling the rise and fall of your breath without changing it. We're just getting a sense of how we're breathing. And then even scan from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Even notice how you feel, not only physically, but emotionally. And then from there, we're going to change up our breathing. I'm going to play some music here in the background. It's just two tones that you hear. Some of you are familiar with it. And you're going to see if you can breathe in for a count of 5 and then exhale for a count of 5. If you find that that's too long, you just go with your rhythm. Okay. So this would be your in breath. And now your exhale. Breathing in for 5. Exhale for 5. can either let go of this 5-5 equal breath, or you can continue. Just see if you can keep your breath nice and long and deep as you move through your practice. Eyes can now be open. We're going to inhale, we're going to arch our low back. So it feels as though you're pulling your chest forward. And then as we exhale, we're going to round. So it feels as though you're trying to round your spine into the back of your chair. Breathing in, we arch. Maybe the gaze looks forward, maybe even up. And as you exhale, you're going to slide the hands away around your back. Okay, so hands might draw towards you. Feel your shoulder blades draw together. And then push them away. It's what we call our cat rolling. Breathe in, arch. Exhale, round. This time as you come forward with the chest, we're going to start to bring it forward, and maybe the forearms rest onto the thighs. So think of this as like a halfway lift. And now roll up through your spine again. Pull the heart through, draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale, round all the way back. Breathing in again, we're going to roll forward. Maybe this time the belly rests onto the thighs. And then roll up through. Breathing in, shoulder blades together, arch. As we exhale, we're rounding. Another in-breath again. Lead with your heart. You're going to bring the belly down as far as it feels comfortable. Maybe the fingertips come down and you lower your head towards the floor. If the fingertips are down and can reach the mat, you're going to activate the legs by pushing the feet in and roll up through the spine. Once you come all the way up, you're going to arch the back. Exhale, round. Again, start bringing your heart forward, either halfway, belly to thighs, or all the way down. We're going to try one more here, rolling up through. An in-breath, arch. Draw those elbows back. Exhale, round. Inhale, start feeding the heart forward. Either forearms, belly, or fingertips go down. We're going to pause and hold wherever you are. Feel your belly press against your thighs as you breathe. Let the neck totally relax here. You can even take a moment to shake the head out, the jaw, if you like. And then to rise again, we're going to push into the feet. Roll up through the spine. And then just come back to neutral, to your neutral mountain pose. Now from here, let's come up to stand. And you're going to place your hands onto the seat of your chair. You can bend your knees here as much as you need. If it feels good and you want to start to straighten out your legs, do so. Now watch your hands. We don't want the hands behind the shoulders. We're going to walk the hands onto your chair. So now you have shoulder and wrist alignment. We're just going to do a little protract, retract. So I'd like you to bring your awareness into your upper back where your shoulder blades are. It's going to be difficult to see, so you just have to kind of follow along. Stop bending the knees. I want you to bring your awareness to your shoulder blades. As you push your hands down, take it to your upper back where you're rounding your upper back. So just like we did when we were going through our cat and our cow pose, like this. See that? Now you're going to try to direct it just in those shoulder blades. Are you able to push it to your hands and try to pull your shoulder blades apart? And then we're going to start to lower the shoulder blades or chest down. So now you can feel your shoulder blades draw together. So you'll notice there's a little arch in your back. As you round up, again, think of taking it just to your shoulder blade area as much as possible. Push your hands away. Feel the shoulder blades draw apart. And then slowly let the heart pull through almost. You're bringing your chest towards your chair. Draw your shoulder blades together. Keep your arms nice and active. Feel as though you're trying to draw your hands together. They're not moving. And you can feel the muscles on your bones engaged. We'll try it a few more times here. So pull the shoulder blades apart. Feel as though you're just trying to stretch in that upper back, mid-back area. And then let the chest kind of come towards the chair, pulling your shoulder blades apart. And last time, round up. And then draw the shoulder blades together. Good. Now from here, we're going to take our hands and we're going to walk our hands. I'll turn my chair around, maybe get a better sense. So you're coming into your table pose. And we're going to take our feet over to one side. So just move your feet over towards the left corner. You're going to walk your hands forward, kind of get a stretch as though you're coming into this downward facing dog shape. And now we're going to take it a little further into a side bend. You're going to start walking your hands now over towards the right. And then from there, feel as though you're trying to take your hips as well to the right. So you want to try to create this kind of letter C as much as you can with your body. Now we'll go back to center. Come over to the right side of your chair. Bow down, bend your knees. And now start walking your hands over towards the left side. So you can just walk the hands and stay as you are. And even notice the difference now if you just try to shift your hips a little bit over towards the left. So the hands are reaching towards the left, the hips are trying to reach a little bit towards the left. You might even be able to stack your right hand on top of the left hand. And then return back to center. Just going to walk the feet back, bend your knees, and then let your belly rest onto your thighs. Now, if it doesn't feel good to let the belly rest on the thighs, you can stay more lifted. Otherwise, you're going to bring your belly towards the thighs, kind of crawl your fingertips forward, lengthening out through the arms. Gently pushing the feet down into the mat so the legs are still really active. As well, you can push the fingertips into the seat of your chair and notice how that activates the muscles in your arms. Now from here, as you inhale, we're going to round up through your spine and walk forward. And then let's come back down onto the seat of your chair again. Now from here, we're just going to lift up one knee and you're going to circle it. We're taking it around and around in a circle. And then you'll take it in your other direction. See if you can still work with a straight spine. So wherever you want to put your hands. And then release. And then we'll go over to our other side. So circling the knee. And take your time here. Really feel this right in the socket here as you circle. And then in the other direction. You might even hear some noise here as you circle. Now let's go back over to the other side. Again, sitting up tall, root down your sit bones. We're going to lift the leg up slightly and we're just going to take it out to the side and bring it back, okay? So lifting it out and in. And you can keep that bottom foot flexed. And lower, go over to the other side. So lifting your foot away from the floor, take it out and bring it in. Again, take your time lifting it out and in. You can hold on here if you like, or the hand can come by your side. Okay, now set that foot down. And then both feet, although you can't really see here, what you're going to do with your feet, you're going to kind of rest on the pinky side of your foot. And we're just going to flap our wings here. So you could even try bringing the feet closer together and just seeing how that feels, or walk the feet further away. It's probably easier to have the feet further apart when you are seated. So it's kind of like a butterfly pose that we're doing. And so there's no force with the legs. You're just kind of letting your legs be floppy. We're just going to take them from side to side. And then release. And then take the feet again, bring them down so the soles of your feet now are pushing in towards the floor. And we're going to turn our feet outward. So you can see how my knees are opening up. Instead of having your knees facing forward, take one foot out and then the other. Now from here again, we're going to hold onto the legs. We're going to bring our heart forward for a moment. So you're coming through like halfway lift. Take one arm, your left arm if you like, onto your thigh. From there, we're just going to turn our gaze down the opposite direction. Come back to center, and then maybe the other arm. So right arm lifts as you turn towards the right. You're going to take that down. We're going to go over to the other side. So just resting your forearm onto your thigh. Keep pushing down into your feet. Turn your gaze, looking towards the left. And then come back to center and then see if you can open up the arm. So nice opening here in the chest. Now if you find that too intense for the neck, just turn your gaze. And then we're going to slowly release. We're going to go over to the other side here again. So going over, inhale, open up the arm. And actually this time as you open up the arm, if you are able to turn towards your lifted hand, now see if you can turn your gaze and look down at the opposite knee. Head comes back, looking at your right hand, the hand that's lifted. And then we're just going to lift ourselves all the way up and go over to the other side. Breathing in, opening wide, turning towards the hand again if it feels okay to do so. We're going to turn down and look at our right knee. And then turn back up, look at your hand. Use that top hand to lift you back up. Then you can heel toe the feet all the way in for a moment. So we're going to bring them all the way in. The knees will touch. Then you're going to heel toe them out. Wider than hip distance, and we're just going to let our knees fall to one side and to the other. So think of some wipers, right, where you let your knees fall from one side to the other. So you'll kind of rest on the pinky side of your foot on one side and then the other. So you can even let your body just move with you here, side to side. You might hear some cracks going on. I know I am right now. And then we're just going to heel toe the feet, bring them all the way back in. And then let's come back up to stand. Come back up. Set your hands back down onto your chair. We're going to come back into our cat-cow with our hands now on the seat of the chair. So take a moment to spread your hands fairly wide. And then press the fingertips down into your chair. Soft bend in your knees. Have your feet about hip distance apart. So that could be 2 fists apart or 1.5. And if it doesn't feel okay, you can take your feet wider. Now from here, we're going to pull our heart through, bend your knees, and arch your low back. As we exhale, start with your tail. Tuck the tail, round up through your spine, chin towards the chest. Breathing in again, feed the heart forward. Keep pushing down into the hands. And exhale, round up. Make any adjustments you need to with your hands, stacking the wrists and the shoulders, breathing in and round it up. So really nice mobility drill here for your spine. If you find, keep moving through your arch and tilt. If you find that you have any low back issues, then don't overly arch your back. Just take a little arch into your back. Now let's come back to our table pose. So stacking shoulders and wrists. And from here, we're just going to turn and look towards our right heel. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to create length on the left side of the body, and we're trying to create this little C shape on the right. Let's go over to the other side, turning your gaze, looking towards the left, and then see if you can contract your left hip and left shoulder while trying to lengthen out all of this right side as much as you can. So we'll go one more time each side, shortening the right side as you turn to the right. Come back to center, and now let's go over to the left. So squeezing your hip towards your armpit. And then come back to neutral table pose. And let's take our feet back again, coming into downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, a couple of things here. You're going to keep your hands active, just as we've been doing, the fingertips pushing down, the knuckle of the index fingers kind of pushing down the palm. Your gaze, then, you're going to bring your chin kind of towards your Adam's apple, your throat. And then the head may come in between the the arms, or it can be lifted, but you don't want to really round the neck here, okay? So arms are reaching forward, feet hip distance apart. Bend your knees and then lift your hips towards the sky. So feel as though you're lifting your sit bones. You can even wag your doggy tail here side to side. Now from here, just come into stillness for a moment, keeping the hands, the arms engaged. Now start, instead of looking down kind of like towards your toes or in between your legs, start to shift your gaze forward. So now you're looking at your fingers, your hands, and maybe see if you can bend your knees, lift your heels. Bring the heels back down, downward facing dog. And then lift your gaze, maybe lift your heels, bend your knees. Again, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. One more here. Bending the knees, gaze is forward. And exhale again, downward facing dog. From here, let's walk towards the front of our chair. Roll yourself up. And we're going to start with the back of your chair facing you. Now, if you feel comfortable with having the seat facing you, or you can forward fold or do any balancing without holding onto the chair, then you can keep the seat facing you. But to start, if you want to have the back facing you, bring it here. So taking your feet again, hip distance apart, we're going to root those feet down, just like we did in sitting mountain. Now we're doing standing mountain. And feel as though you're spreading through your toes, trying to push the bottoms of the feet, feel the four corners of your feet here. And you'll notice as you start to press the legs down, the feet down, the legs become more active. You can feel the muscles, the kneecaps might lift. We're going to tuck the tail and the pubic bone as though they're coming towards one another, but not overly flattening your low back as I'm doing now. You want to keep that natural arch, but we want to get this engagement into our low belly. And think of yourself as though you have a corset kind of around your torso, keeping all of this nice and strong. Arms can come by your sides, or if you prefer, one hand or both hands onto your chair. Now staying here, we're going to lift up as though right from the hips to the armpits, broaden across your chest without your ribs kind of sticking forward. Think of lifting up your back ribs and then release your shoulders, release your neck. Keep all of that relaxed while still keeping all around here engaged. Your legs are going to stay engaged. Now, if you like, you can close your eyes and just return back to a nice, slow, deep, even breath. You might even hear the sound of your breath. And just do one quick scan again. Notice as you're standing, because we are trying to work here, we're not having a lazy stance. We're putting energy into the muscles, the bones here. And see if you can just let the rest of your body relax, the shoulders, the neck, while you do a scan, noticing for any areas of tension, tightness. And now from here, if the eyes are closed, go ahead and open up the eyes. And we're just going to do a quick little balancing here. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the arms and a knee. Slowly lower, flip your palms down. In breath, turn the palms up, lifting opposite knee, and release. And that's all that we're going to do here just for a little bit, is lifting up. Slowly lowering. Now don't lose your breath here. See if you can coordinate your breath with the movement of your hands and your leg. Now the next time that we lift up our right knee, we're going to take our left hand down. Okay, and we're going to lift that up and release. Let's go ahead and lift the right arm, right knee, or left knee, sorry, in place and lower. Okay, so opposite hand onto the foot, slowly release. Reaching up, lifting, and then lowering. Okay, so we're just going to add on just a little bit here. So the next time that let's lift up our left arm, we're going to lift the right knee. Hand can go onto the knee for a moment. See if you can pause and hold. If you can't lift the foot very high, see if you can stay onto your big toe. Now from here, instead of lowering the foot back to the meet or be parallel to your other foot, we're going to lift the arm up. Can you extend the leg behind and reach and balance on your big toe? Okay, slowly release. We'll go over to the other side. Reaching right arm or whatever arm, just do your opposite. Lift up the knee. You can touch and hold. And then how about we lift that arm back up and then extend the big toe. And feel as though you're trying to reach right in opposite direction in this nice long line. And then we're going to step it down. Now we're going to add on here again. Think of yourself as like a growing tree here. So coming back to your mountain. We're going to bounce into the left foot. See if you can slowly lift the right leg forward. We'll do that again if you want to add the arms or take one hand and hold onto the chair. You can also lift the opposite arm or both. Okay, so lifting up. Now, if you need to stop and take a breather, do so. And then you're just going to let your tree grow. So you're just going to do some movement here in your body, leg out to the side. Maybe the leg comes behind and you balance, or again, the big toe can come down. Maybe you take the leg across the body and release. We're going to go over to our other side, give our leg a break, lifting up. Remember, you can lift opposite arm and leg. Same arm and leg lifts forward. You can take it out to the side. You can take it behind. I see some beautiful trees moving. So just get your tree kind of feel as though it's blowing in the wind. All right, and then pause. Come back to your mountain pose, taking the feet hip distance apart, holding onto your chair for a moment. And we're going to take our right foot against our left ankle. And so now we're just in a nice, steady, strong tree. Knee opens up out to the side, hip points are still forward. And if you feel like you can, you're going to lift your leg a little higher, or you choose where you can be. And then see if you can press the thigh in towards your foot into the thigh, but more so the thigh pressing into your foot. Holding onto the chair, or if you feel like you have your balance. Again, you can play with your tree here if you like, creating some sort of movement. And then we'll lower the foot down. Just going to take our hands onto our hips and do some circles here to release. And then coming back again to neutral, release the hands. We're going to go over to our other side. Left foot against the ankle, knee turns out, hip points forward. Staying here or lifting the foot, holding on. Again, play with some shapes with your arms. If you're taking the foot higher, we just never ever take it and place it onto our knee. Okay, you want to avoid that area. Now we're going to try to square off those hips again. So lifting up through the spine. And then once again, take your awareness to your breath. Notice if you're holding your breath. And then slowly release. Hands once again can come onto the hips, and maybe you make your circle a little bit bigger and slower. So think of stirring the soup pot, or even better, maybe a peanut butter jar. Take it in the other direction. One more time, going around. Great, and then lifting up. Now facing your chair, We're going to step our right foot back. If you like, you can lift the knee up and hover. You're going to step it all the way back. Bend the front knee and take your back heel down to the mat. Front knee bends. And now the back leg, I have it bent right now, but now I'm going to push my knee behind me. So I'm working to straighten out that leg. Hands can come on the hips here, or again, you can hold your chair. And you're going to square off those hips. Just notice if one hip is lifting a little higher, can you square them off? Keep them nice and level. And then an option to lift an arm or both arms. Excuse me. Now, at the same time, pressing that back leg behind you. Front knee should never go past the big toe. So warrior one stance. From here, release the hands, hold on to your chair. And then we're going to lift up our back heel. So you can stay here with the back heel lifted, or if you can, you're going to bend both knees. Now, as you bend both knees, just tuck your tail ever so slightly, and you'll feel this deep stretch here in your hip flexor. Arms can lift, or you can hold onto the chair. Slowly release. If the hands are lifted, we're going to straighten out the front leg. And then your back foot, if it's all the way back, we're going to bring it a little bit further forward. And we're going to try to straighten out both legs. Now, as you inhale, start lifting up through your chest. Maybe if it feels okay to introduce a back bend, we're just lifting up through the chest. And then from here, as we exhale, we're just going to forward fold ever so slightly. Again, trying to keep both hips level here. So don't let that right hip turn behind you. And then breathing in, lift up, and we'll just set both feet together. You can shake out your feet here if you like. We're going to go to our other side. So right foot is forward, left leg back. Bring your left heel down to the mat. Start bending your front knee. Now press the back leg behind you. Keep the hips nice and square. So that might mean that this right hip, you just gently draw in and back. Keep back leg pressing behind you. Now think of lifting right up through the armpits. So if you notice that you're leaning forward, think of like a fishing reel. Can you reel yourself back in? So hips now and shoulders are stacking. Do what you can here. Arms, both arms can lift, or we'll just lift one arm, holding onto the chair. Back leg engaged, front knee over the ankle. Now from here, lowering both hands, we're going to lift the back heel and then bend the knee. So if you need to, you have an option to bring your feet closer together, see how that feels. You can also take it further apart. Bending both knees, tuck the tail ever so slightly, low belly, drawing in. Think of that corset here, you're nice and strong. Staying here or lifting an arm or both arms. Exhale, release the hands. And then we're just going to step our feet maybe a couple of feet apart. And so your feet are fairly facing forward. And you might notice your back foot, you can turn out slightly. Hands onto the hips. Draw your right hip back. If you need to here, to square off your hips. Push down into your feet as though you're going to pull that mat apart with your hands. And then maybe begin to lean forward. Legs are still nice and active. And we're not holding our breath here. See if you can find extension now through your spine, reaching it through the upper back. And then breathing in, we're going to lift all the way back up. You can take your heel towards your bum. Then we're going to take our chair, and it's going to face us. We're going to set the hands down, stacking shoulders over wrists. And we're going to step our feet wide. So you'll probably end up with your feet off your mat here. Now from here, if you like, we're going to lift ourselves up, take a full breath in, circling the arms. And then exhale, hands come into prayer. I'll face you actually. Now from here, the feet can be parallel, or you can try turning the toes out. Again, see what works here for you. Now from here, I want you to think we're going to lead with our spine. We're going to bend forward, hinging at our hips. You may need to bend your knees, or the legs can be straight. Lead with your heart here and think of you're reaching out through your crown. And then place your hands now onto the seat of your chair. Maybe the elbows bend so you can come a little lower. So we're trying to keep ourselves, our shoulders and hips lined up here. Draw your shoulders down your back and then press out through the outer arches of your feet here. Now an in-breath, lift up, straighten the arms. And now as you exhale, bend the elbows if you can so that they're facing towards your hips. We're going to lower down. Push into the hands, straightening the arms. So we're doing like a push-up here. Exhale, lower, bending the elbows. One more time. Lifting up, straighten your arms, and exhale, forward fold. This time as we come up, we're going to take our heels in, toes out. Start to really bend your knees. If you like, you can even come in closer towards your chair. You can start to rock your legs here side to side. And then even further, you're going to see if you can start to take the hands maybe towards the hips. These again are bent. So coming into a goddess shape. See if you can hold this shape. So if you find that you're leaning forward again, think of that fishing reel where you're lifting yourself up. Now from here, we're just going to push. One hand, bring it in, and then the other. And so the gaze can stay forward, or maybe if you work more on your balance, you're going to follow your hands. Okay, now if you need to come up, straighten your legs. And when you're ready, we're going to see if we can hold here again. Keep your knees pointing towards your toes. And think of your hands kind of pushing through mud. Now we'll return back to center. Inhale, reach the arms forward, and then we're going to exhale. Okay, so coming forward, breathe in, exhale. One more time. Breathe in. Good. Hands to hips, straighten the legs, parallel the feet. From here again, come into a forward fold. In breath again, lifting up halfway. We're going to bend our right knee. So turn your right toes out slightly. Bend your right knee. Come back to center. Feet are parallel. Turn your left toes out, bending your left knee. You're going to go back over to the right. Turn your left toes in, right toes out. And think of bringing your bum all the way back. Now, option here, if you'd like, to take your hand, right hand onto your leg or your forearm and lift up that left arm. So now you're not using your chair. I'm going to set the hand down, other hand, over to the other side. So right toes face forward. Turn your left toes out. Bend the left knee. Bring your bum back. You can hold onto the chair. Actually, that might be even better, depending on your position. Hand onto the left hand onto the chair. Open up the right arm. Or you can take the arm onto your forearm, onto your left leg. And return back to center. We're going to heel toe the feet back in. Come into a forward fold, so feet now are hip distance apart. Remember, bend those knees as much as you need to here. Don't feel like you got to keep the legs straight. Listen to your low back as well as the back of the knees here. And then breathing in, roll up through the spine. Circle the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands come back down into prayer. As you take your hands into prayer, see if you can feel your shoulder blades here firming on your back. Okay, another full breath in, circling the arms. Hands come into prayer. Hinge at your hips as you bend your knees, forward fold. In breath, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Rising all the way up, take the arms out to the sides, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands into prayer. This time, shoot your arms up. We're going to come into chair pose. Exhale, begin to bend your knees. And then shift some more weight into your heels as though you're trying to find that seat of your chair. And you can even turn around if you like and bring your bum towards your chair. Hands will come into prayer for a moment. Now the gaze may be down. Now see if you can lift your gaze looking forward. Okay, and then using the strength of your legs, inhale, lift up. Exhale, take the arms out to the sides. So we're just going to add a little bit on here. Breathing in, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Bend both knees as though you're coming into chair pose. Option now to lift the arms, lift the chest. And now take the hands down, exhale, forward fold. Maybe the head might even rest onto the seat of your chair. Bending your knees again, bring the gaze forward towards the back of your chair. Lift one arm or both, and then exhale, forward fold. Last time, lifting up halfway, bend the knees. You can stay with the hands down or arms lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, elbows back towards the hips. Now lift yourself all the way out and up, circling the arms up. Exhale down. Good. From here, we're going to move on to a little sun salutation. Breathing in, lift up. Exhale, arms out to your sides, forward fold. In breath, lift up halfway. Now we're going to step our right foot all the way back and keep readjusting both feet here as you need. We're going to keep the right heel lifted as you bend that front knee. So we're coming into like a high lunge. We can lift one arm here as you reach through the right fingertips, extend the right heel all the way back. We're going to take the hand all the way back down to the chair. The back foot now, we're going to bring it back in so both feet are facing one another and move through our cat-cow rolling. In breath, heart pulls through, and exhale, round it up. Use your breath, the power of your breath. Inhale, heart pulling forward. Exhale, round it up, push back, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, shift the weight into your heels, press your hands down into the seat of the chair. Now from here, we're going to inhale, begin to round up through your spine. Step the right foot forward, left leg back. So we're coming back to high lunge now on the other side. So lifting through the back heel, bend the front knee, maybe lifting an arm here if you like, reaching in opposite directions. Hand comes back down to the seat of the chair. Now from here, can you step your foot all the way forward, lift up halfway, nice strong arms, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, circling the arms all the way out and down. And again, circle your arms, big, big breath. Exhale, arms out to the sides, forward fold. Lift up halfway and fold back down. Lift up again, halfway. Step the left foot all the way back. Readjust your front foot again. Stack the knee over the ankle. Lift the left heel and then begin to lift through the back of your head. Again, we're going for length here. Hold and breathe. Again, if you want to lift an arm, it could be opposite arm and leg. It could be the same arm and leg. Practicing more with your balance here. Now remember, we're going to step that back foot in, moving through cat-cow rolling. Both feet parallel. Inhale, pull the heart through. Arch the low back. Exhale, round it up. Push into your hands. Really get into that mid-back area. Breathe in. Feed your heart forward. And exhale, round it up. Let's try one more here. Breathing in. Round it up. Walk both feet back, coming into downward facing dog. In this down dog, if you like, you can lift up a little higher or maybe bend and straighten one leg. And then from there, stepping left foot forward, right foot back. Let's come back to our high lunge. Notice if you're starting to sink down the head and rounding here, and you push into the hands, straighten up through the arms. Push back through the back heel as you bend that front knee, squaring off your hips again. From here, we're just going to step the right foot forward. Stay halfway lifted, and then exhale, bow it down. One more time. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Engage your muscles of your arms, and exhale, forward fold. Rising all the way up, push into the feet. You can roll through your spine if you like, circle the arms, and exhale, hands come back down into prayer. Slowly release. Pause and hold here now in your mountain pose. Remember engaging the feet, engaging the muscles of the legs. Feel the kneecaps lifting. Drawing pubic bone and tail towards one another ever so slightly, engaging the low belly. Chin parallel with the floor. Eyes can be open or closed. From here, we're going to inhale, circle the palms or hands all the way up. Interlace your hands, and then flip the palms, pressing them up towards the sky. Hold and breathe here. If you like, you can start to turn towards the right. Return back to center, and then turn the gaze, the body towards the left. Returning back to center, slowly release the arms. Option here now, if you like, to take the right leg behind. So we're kind of making this X shape with our legs. Gently squeeze the legs together, lift up through the spine. Full breath in. Interlace the hands as you exhale out. Flip the palms, circling back up towards the sky. If it hurts to interlace the hands, just lift your arms towards the sky. And then we're going to take side bend over to the right. So it feels as though you're pushing your left hips away from you. Breathing in, lift up. Exhale, slowly release. Take the foot out from behind you. We'll go over to our other side. Left leg comes behind. Lift up through the spine. Grow nice and tall. Feel that extension. Breathing in, slowly lift up. Exhale, interlace the hands. Or keep your hands apart. Lifting palms back up towards the sky. Exhale, let's take our side bend now over to the left. In breath, slowly lift up. Exhale, slowly release down. Take the legs out from underneath, breathing in. Lifting the arms. Exhale, slowly release. One more time. Full breath in, legs and arms are engaged, lifting up. And exhale, release. Let's make our way back onto our chairs. Have a seat here. So that you can feel the soles of your feet here, again, flat onto the floor. Readjust yourself so that you can feel yourself growing nice and tall, rooting down through your sit bones. You can even lift up the toes again and then push the feet gently back down. From here, we're going to start to bring our chest forward, coming halfway or all the way back down into your forward fold. Let go of the top of the head. Let it completely relax. And again, even shake it out a little here. And then slowly push down through your feet. Lift yourself back up. Option here, if you like, to take the right ankle, place it on top of your thigh. If you can't reach, you can also extend your left leg down and just place the ankle onto the shin. Sitting up again, nice and tall. So we're not doing anything with this leg. We're not trying to force the top leg to do anything. However, if you have some mobility in your hips and it feels okay, you can gently press the hand onto the leg as you lift up through the crown. And release. Going over to your other side, taking the right ankle onto the thigh. Going tall up through your spine. And then slowly releasing down the left foot. From here, we're going to move into Savasana. So if you have a blanket and you want to cover yourself up, you can do so. And so when you get into Savasana pose, you just want to let yourself get as comfortable as you can in a chair, although you're at home, and if you'd like to go lie down, you can do whatever you like here. And so we're not going to worry about our posture being this in perfect alignment. Just let yourself get comfortable. And then begin to close your eyes if that feels safe to do so. Or you can even just direct your gaze downward. And return again just back to the rhythm of your breath. And then take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, just let it fall out of your mouth. One full breath in again. Releasing the breath. And begin to take your awareness to your feet. And without any movement, just seeing if you can soften your feet. So the toes, the ankles, the top and the bottom of your foot. And then do the same thing now with your hands. Think of your hands as though they were into tight fists. And then you're just going to let your hands completely relax. Noticing the space in between the hands, the fingers. You might notice some tingling or some sensation in your hands. And then softening both your hands and your feet. Now let's shift our awareness to our eyes, to the four corners. Softening here. And then to your ears. So the inside and the outside of your ears. Bring your awareness there. You might already notice as you soften the eyes, the ears, the jaw begins to soften. Softening the tongue. And then softening down through the belly, the pelvic floor, the groins, the sexual organs, all completely relaxed. And then softening all of these 6 points together equally. The hands and feet, eyes and ears, tongue, and pelvic floor area. And as all of these 6 points soften, All the spaces in between as well soften. We're letting go of any effort here of the shoulders, the belly, the legs, the arms. We're just now feeling ourselves breathe. You might notice the rise, the fall of the belly, the ribs, the chest. And then let your awareness just stay here with your breath. So if you notice the mind begins to wander, see if you can just come back to the rise and fall of the breath. And if it helps you, you can change the rhythm of your breath, just like we did at the beginning of the practice where we were inhaling for a count of 5, exhaling for a count of 5. And as you let your awareness sit on your breath, it can either be with the sound or the sensation, whatever feels most comfortable to you. The body is still soft and relaxed as you breathe fully and deeply. As you continue to breathe, bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet. Maybe introducing a little movement here as you stretch through the fingers and toes. You can circle the hands, the feet here. Keeping a nice sense of peace and calm in the body as you move. The hands may come back together with the rubber palms. See if you can get some heat in between the hands. And then either placing your hands upon your heart or onto your eyes, your cheeks. And bringing the palms right back to your heart center, or again, they can be placed onto the heart or onto your thighs. Let's take a full breath in and out. One more time, breathing in. Have a wonderful day, folks. Thank you for joining me on this Zoom class. Namaste.